I'm trying as much as possible to be honest in this video because I feel like most producers do not really talk about this, but I've taken it upon myself to speak about this, and it's not like it's when I say the dark side of music production, it's not like it's some sort of terrible things that happen to music producers. Well, there are some things that are terrible that actually do happen to music producers, but from my findings or from what I have personally experienced, I've decided to come out and just talk about things, and I know so many producers can actually relate with me in these topics. So I'll just be listing out like 4 to 5 things I think really do happen to music producers that we do not really speak about. But in fact, some of us or most of us do not even see it as a problem, but it is actually a problem. It's in there. We go through these things every day, whenever we're trying to be creative, and it's crazy. But yeah, I've decided to talk about them. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is being burnt out. Burnout, basically. You know, we as music producers, we tend to, be burnt out. Trust me. You have no idea how many hours one can sit on this desk and, face your system for hours trying to, make that snare sound right or make that kick sound punching, or if you're mixing the vocals or mastering the vocals, how you're trying to make that vocals sound sweet, and you have another client trying to reach out to you, you know, trying to give you a new job, you're trying to record, you're still trying to go for a session. Like, trust me, it can be tiring sometimes. It can have you really, really, really burnt out. But yeah, it's not just for music production alone. I know it cuts across through every other creative. You know, if you're a creative, you should understand where I'm coming from. But since this video, basically, I'm trying to talk about music producers, I feel like music producers have the tendency of being burnt out like crazily. Like, I've sat down on my desk for hours and you just get up and you feel this pain in your back, and not even just for a day, you have this pain going in your back for like days and weeks. And yeah, I feel like it's just part of the process, but most people do not talk about this, and I decided to just talk about it to let you know that it's really not just you as a producer that go through these things. We all actually go through it, and yeah, I mean, it's all part of putting in the work. I mean, you don't stop, you just keep going. Another one I want to talk about is perfectionism. I don't want to give definitions for this, but I feel like we already know what this means. If you are this person that, you know, if you're a perfectionist, I don't know if every music producer are like this, but I know I've met with, even I myself, we tend to be perfectionists. And by this, we want to make everything sound right. Like, if it's not right, you don't want to drop it. If it's not right, you don't want to put it out, or you don't want to leave that project. You want to make sure it's right. Like, I can leave a project, go and come back days later, weeks later, and I'll be like, oh shit, I should have done this way, I should have done this way. Like, that spirit of you being perfect with everything, I know most producers face this. Like, I can play a beat for an artist right now and it'll be like, yo, this is hard. Oh, it's just hyping the whole thing. And in my head, I'm like, nah, that snare is still not right. No, okay, this bass, I feel like I should have still cut out some highs or something. There's always something, even after the song has dropped. And I know music producers feel this way. I know for a fact. Even after the song has dropped, you might listen to the song and be like, oh shit, I should have paused here, I should have like, there's always something. That spirit of being perfect. You want everything to be perfect. And trust me, sometimes it's actually not a good spirit. I wouldn't like, because I mean, just the way it is, the way it's imperfect, that's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it unique. If we're being real, trust me, because if you listen to even the biggest songs you've heard in life, I'm sure there, I'm sure there is one thing or two things they should have done better, but I mean, they still put it out that way, and it's still, made wave the way it's made wave. So, I feel like that spirit of being perfect, most producers go through it, but we should always find a way to, let things just slide, let things just go. You understand? And the third one I want to talk about is imposter syndrome. Yes, imposter syndrome. I know most of us have this, we have the inability to accept success. We feel like we don't deserve the success or the result we're seeing sometimes. Yeah, and it's not in a bad way, it's in a good way. Like, you're just feeling like you're not, how can I put this? We all know the meaning of imposter syndrome. Most times we feel like, oh, okay, let me just give an example now. Just like the example I gave, where an artist listens to your stuff and the artist is, hyping you, and you're feeling like maybe the artist is just doing too much. In your own head, you didn't do anything. Like, you're not even really happy with what you're doing. You're not seeing the results in that big way. The listener or the artist or the audience are listening to it. You don't see it. As a music producer, most times I've listened to interviews with big producers, and they'll be like, this beat, they're interviewing them for a beat they made that is, shocking the world. And they'll be like, they were not even okay with the beat. They didn't even like how the snare sound. Most producers always say that. You understand? But it's something that I know it's normal. You that did the work, you're not really like, you don't really appreciate it. It's people that would come and tell you, okay, bro, trust me, this is fire. You understand? And I feel like it's not like, don't get me wrong, it's not like you don't know the beat is hard. The beat is definitely hard. You know you're good. Trust me, you know you're good. Just that you just felt like you could have done better. But the world is already telling you, bro, you've killed it here. But you in your own head, you're feeling like you could have done better. It's just like trying to give you room for, being better, giving you room for that you can always do better, obviously. You're just trying to tell yourself that you can always do better. You understand? And as creatives, we always have that thoughts in our head most times. And trust me, those thoughts can be tiring, but then we keep going. All right, so another one I'll talk about is constantly comparing your work with others. Yes. I feel like, yeah, most producers might not come out to say this. In fact, most of the things I've said today, most producers might not come out to say it. But yeah, I know deep down, or while we're back in our studios or in our bedrooms, we're making this music, we try to compare our work with, maybe producers we look up to, mentors and stuff like that. It's not even actually a bad thing if you ask me, because when you compare your work to them, not in a bad way, when you compare your work to them, you would find out things you can actually do better, things you can add to your own, music or to your own song, and you can always do better, basically. I feel like you shouldn't do that too much. It's your sound, it's your sound. Don't compare your own sound to some other producer's sound, because sometimes it can make there are sometimes it can make you feel like, oh, you're not up to the task, or your beats and shit. I don't want to use words like that, but most times or sometimes it can make you feel like that. So I wouldn't even really advise anyone to constantly compare your work to other producers, even if I know that it happens. Even I myself, I try to compare my work sometimes, okay, but I mostly do that with producers I look up to. Obviously, that would help you, to push you to be a better producer, to push you to do the right things the right way. You understand? So, but when you do that too much, you tend to lose your own sound. Do you understand? When you do that too much and too long, you tend to lose your own sound. You just, become like a follower of trends and stuff like that. And yeah, that wouldn't be too good. You should be a producer that can, come up with his or her own sound, and, bring a new sound into the industry, into the world, and people can be able to say, when they listen to this beat, they'll be like, okay, that's Bethexy beats. You understand? And yeah, I just decided to list out this stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video or learned a thing or two. and I'll be talking more with you guys on this channel. So I would urge you guys to please kindly subscribe, like this video, drop a comment, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.